Hey everybody, this is Dave coming to you from the Gaming Cave. Today we're continuing our playthrough of Flying Colors. Fleet action in the Age of Sail from GMT Games and designed by Mike Nagel. Okay, so one thing, the reason I wanted to quit when I quit last time was I need to check the striking, which I did not do, and up here the Caesar should have checked for striking at the end of the turn. So we're going to do that because he's dismasted. Okay, so we come to the strike table and he is dismasted and within 5 hexes of an enemy ship. So he has to check. A 5 or less, no effect. 6 to 9 strikes, it's colors. Okay, and modifiers. We get to subtract our audacity rating and the commander quality. Well, in this case, our audacity is 3 and our commander quality is 2, which is 5. So I do not believe that he will have to. We'll see if he strikes his colors. 8 minus 5 is 3, so he's good. Okay, so he did not strike his colors. All right. So that's going to bring us up to turn number 5. And I think was pointed out to me, another mistake I made was with the Scipion. When he passed through here, he could have taken a stern rake on the hero, which he did not do, and that would have given him, he would have been at range 0 with a rake, so he probably would have gotten a shot at it. So anyway, that's where we're at with that. Can't undo that now, but we'll just go ahead and keep playing. All right, so next thing we do is a wind adjustment. So we're going to roll, and if we get a 0, we get a wind adjustment. Nope, we got a 3. Okay, so no wind adjustment. Command determination. So on the British ships, they're all out of command. So they're all going to have to work to see, we'll have to roll and see if they're in command. I thought I forgot to do that with one of these guys anyway. Here for the French, his command range is 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So he's got command here. The command split is right here with the Scipion. So he will not be in command. So that ship's going to work on his own here. Okay. Excuse me. Okay, so the wind is still blowing, direction 6, so it's coming across this way. And the next thing we do is our initiative determination. So the French get a +1, the British get a +2 on their die roll for initiative. All right. And, the French get the initiative 6 to 0. Okay. All right, so the French are going to get to do their thing first. All right. Excuse me, got something in my throat there. All right, so we're going to start with the Formidable up here. He is going to go from reaching to beating. So that costs him 4. 4. He's going to move 1. That's 5. Okay. And he can fire 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 onto the Caesar. The Caesar's not going to do anything. Okay, so he is the Formidable is a black 1 and he's at -2, so it makes him a black 3 at range 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Sure I get that right. Which is a 5. He gets +1 for audacity, so that makes him a table 6. Now he's going to fire at the hull because there's no rigging left to fire at. So now they want to try to sink this guy. That's what their objective is now. Okay, so he's going to be firing at the hull this way. He's firing into the wind. So into the wind on hull is -1. So he gets a -1 to his die roll, and he's on firepower 6. Okay, here we go. A 6. -1 is a 5. So a 5 on table 6 at the hull is 1 hull. So he hits him with 1 hull hit. So he's going to go from 3 to 4. All right. And let's see, hits his starboard. I forgot to take my everything off of there. So let me get that cleaned up real quick. Same thing for the British. Fired port. Fired port. Fired port. Okay. The next ship that's going to move is the Ortugal Truant. Okay. He is in a great position also. He's going to go 4, 5, and he'll fire at range 2. 1, 2. Okay. He's going to fire starboard. He is a white 3. At range 2 is an 11. And +1 for audacity makes him a 12. But before he fires, the Caesar is going to take his defensive fire. So the Caesar is a red 2 at range 2. So a red 2 at range 2 is a 13. +3 for audacity is 16. So he's a 16 at range 2. He's firing at the hull, +1. He's firing with the wind, +1. So he's +2. So he's firing on firepower 16 and +2. Well, he rolled a 2, so he gets 4. So a 4 on 16 is 4 hull, 1 rigging. So 4 hull on the true end raises him to 7. See if I got a 7 out here. I don't. There's 1. Okay. So the true end, and now he's reduced 1 and 1 rigging. That's his first rigging hit. All right. Now the true end is going to fire back. At range 2, he becomes a white 4. At range 2 is a 9. +1 for audacity makes him a 10. And he is going to be -1 because he's firing into the wind at the hull. So -1, firepower 10. He rolls a 1, that makes it a 0. So a 0 is the top line. Firepower 10, he gets 1 hull hit. So he hits 1 hull. So the Caesar goes up to 5 now. Okay. And last is the Mont Blanc. He's going to move 1, back sail, that's 2. Or is he going to go 1? I think he'll go 1. He's going to fire right there. The Mont Blanc is firing his starboard right here. Okay. He's going to fire 1. He's at range 1, 2, 3, 4. So he's at range 4 with the Mont Blanc. He is a white 3 and he is -1. Makes him a white 4. At range 3 is table 8, so it gives him firepower of 9. He is reaching, which means he's firing with the wind. And you know what? I cheated out the... No, I didn't, because he turned. Yep. So, the Mont Blanc Range is 1, 2, 3, 4. I'll check that again. He is a white 4, range 4. That's firepower 5. Yeah, missed that up. Firepower 5 plus 1 is 6 for the Audacity. So firepower of 6, and he's plus 1 on his die roll, firing at the hull. He rolls a 4, makes that a 5. On firepower 6, 5. On 6, his 1 hull hit. Okay, so he goes from 5 to 6, and he's now a -1 there. Okay, it's taking a pounding up here. That's it for that portion of the French. So now I get to decide what to do with the British. I'm going to start with the hero. So he's going to move, but the first thing he's going to do is fire his starboard broadside right here. Range is 2, and he's going for a stern rake. He is Audacity -3, stern rake's -2, so that's -5. Range is 2, so it's -3 to the die roll. He gets a 0. He gets the stern rake. Okay, so he's hitting the Scipion with another rake. The range is, so this is where we're at right here. He's firing. Range is 2. He is a red 3, and that's where he comes from. Red 3 at range 2 is 10 plus 3 for Audacity is 13. He is reaching with the wind, so he gets +1 plus 2. Plus 2, stern rake, firepower 13. He rolls a 6, so he gets 8. So that makes him 8 on 13. 8 on 13 against the hull. 4 hulls, and it's a stern rake, so that's doubled, so that's 8 hull hits. 8 on the Scipion is going to raise him up to 10. He's almost, he'll be checking for striking. So, I know one of the things I'm supposed to put on these guys is vulnerable. There it is. So, he's vulnerable because he's dismasted. And now he's vulnerable because he's only got 2 hull hits left. Okay, now going to move. He's reaching, so he is going to go to running. Reaching to running is 0, so he's going to move 1, and he's going to go from running to reaching, costing 2, 2, 3, 4, 5. And the Scipion, that brings him right up there. He can fire his left broadside. Now, I have to decide here. See, he's in trouble. But he's going to get to move next. He's at, the Scipion is at 4, but he's going to be like a, he's going to be way down that chart. I think he better fire right here because he needs to see if he can get the heck out of there somehow. He's got himself in trouble. That's what I'm going to do. The Scipion's going to fire his left broadside. He's going to fire port. And it is range 2. He is a white 5. And he is -3. He was -2 there. Well, I don't think that counts anymore. he becomes a 5 minus 1, so he becomes a white 6. Well, white 6 at range 2 is a 5 plus 1 for audacity is firepower of 6. He'll fire at the rigging of the hero. And the hero has to back up 1 because he couldn't go that far because he's had a rigging hits. So the Scipion, now that changes it. The Scipion is not going to fire. Yeah, because I can get a better shot here in just a second. So the Scipion is not going to fire. All right, and now we go to the Scipion. He's in some trouble, but he's going to see if he can do some damage. He is reaching his 5 movement points. He goes to running. It costs him 2. He's going to go 2, 3, 4, and back his sails right there. All right. And he's going to fire. This is going to be an attempt at a rake. So let's see what he's got for a rake table. Audacity is -1, not a stern rake. Commander quality, none. And range to target is 1, 2, 3. So -1, so +2 to his die roll. So he's going to roll. A +2 on 8 is 10, so he does not rake him. Okay. He's going to fire. He is a white 6 at range 1, 2, 3. That's a 4. +1 for audacity is firepower 5. He's firing at the rigging, so he gets +1 to his die roll, and he's firing with the wind +2, so he gets a +2 to his die roll, and firepower is 6. I mean 5. Firepower is 5. He gets a 7, which makes it a 9. It's a 9. Firepower 5 is 2 rigging. So the hero goes from 5 to 7 on his rigging hits. Okay. I have the British. The first one we're going to do is the drift because everybody's already fired up there, so it's not going to matter. And when we drift, I believe it is only 3.6.8. I believe it's only one square. 3.6.8. I just want to make sure. Drifting. In this case, 1 hex with the wind. Okay. So he drifts this direction, which is really getting dangerous there. And daggone it, I forgot to do this, but I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it right here. Let me check on this. There's a roll I need to take because of the commands. And I forgot to do it with everybody, but I'm going to do it with this last guy. I need to see what he's going to do here if he's out of command. Out of command ships, a die roll is rolled and compared to the fleet's audacity rating, deducting the fleet admiral's command qual. If he is not dead or captured. If the result is less than or equal to the audacity, the ship may function as if it were in command. So 2 things I need to do. I didn't roll to see if he got wounded twice. 8, no. 6, no. Okay. Now, he's got to roll. He gets -3, or he gets -2 to his roll. He gets a 7, makes it a 5. So he is not in command. He's an out of command ship. Okay. If the command check fails, the ship may not end its movement adjacent to an enemy ship or fire when activated unless it starts adjacent to an enemy ship. But they can fire defensively. So he's not going to be able to fire. He's going to move 5. 1, 2. He's going to slip 3, 4, 5. So he's in position, but he's not in command. Okay. So everybody's moved. Everybody's fired that can fire. So now we do ship fires. Well, we know the Caesar has a fire. So we need to roll on that and see what happens. I'm looking for my chart. Ships on fire table. Here we go. So this is on the Caesar. And we're going to roll. And let's see. He's not fouled. He's not grappled. It's an 8. An 8. 7 to 8. He takes 1 hull hit. And we have to roll again. And if he rolls a 9, he explodes. No, 7. Woo. Okay. So he's still burning, but he takes a hull hit. So these 6 become 7. Oh, I need a 7. Let's see if I can find one real quick. There was one. Okay. So he becomes a 7. The Caesar. He's a 7 now. And he's got to roll to see if he strikes, because the fire's, that's the only one that's been on fire. So now to strike, he is dismasted still, and he's still -5. So I do not believe he's going to strike, but we'll roll. That's a 3. No, he does not strike. Okay. He stays vulnerable. Now the French, he needs to check, see if he strikes. Okay, he is, we're talking about the Scipion, who's had a huge problem here. So the Scipion has hull hits. He's got, when a ship has 3 or fewer hull hits remaining, so he's going to do minus modifier, minus hull hits remaining. So he has 2. Fleet audacity rating 1, so that's -3. No commander quality. So -3. A 1. He does not strike. So he says, no way, British. Okay. We're not sinking. Got to go through and remove my broadside markers this time, so I don't forget. Starboard. 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 And port. And starboard. Okay. Then we go to turn number 6. All right. Okay, first thing we do, we're going to keep going on this one. Let's keep going. Let's do another one. We're going to roll to see if the wind changes. It is an 8. No wind change. Okay. Command determinations. All right. For the French, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. He still has command there. He does not have command of the Scipion right there. Okay. The British, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Those 2 are still together. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. They're not. So his command split is over here for him. Okay. Now we roll to see who gets what. 0 for the French and 9 for the British. So the British are going to start first. Oh boy, okay. This makes it really interesting because as much as I would like to move the hero, he's going to have to wait. And we have right here, the Caesar is going to fire his port broadside. All right. So he is going to do defensive fire from the Truant. He's firing starboard on the Truant. He's at range 1. Woohoo! Boy, he's going to have to pack a punch, but he is -1. So he is a white 3, makes him a white 4 at range 1 though. His firepower is 12. Wow. +1 makes him a 13. He's firing at the hull. So 13 is die roll. He is reaching. Nope, he's beating now. So he is -1 firing into the wind. So he is on firepower 13. This is who we're talking about right here. Firepower 13, -1 to the die roll. It's a 6, makes it a 5 on firepower 13. So we take a 5 across here to 13. There's 4 hull hits. So the Caesar goes from 7 to 11. Okay, and we roll to see if the commander's wounded. A 0, he is not. Takes a 9. Okay, now the Caesar can fire port. He's at range 1. He is a red 2. Oops, wrong one. Red 2 -1 makes him a red 3 at range 1. Is 14. +3 is 17. And +2 to his die roll. He's firing at the hull and with the wind. +2 on 2, 4. Man, if he ever got a decent roll, he could have really crippled these guys. But 4 on firepower on 17 is 5 hull hits. So he goes from 7 to 12. All right, let me find me a 12 here real quick. Yep, there's 12. He is 1 away from being reduced down. He's -2 now though on his firepower. Okay, the other ship that we can move is the Courageous. He is going to he's going to side slip 2, 3. Let's see, 2 back sails, 3 back sail, that's 4. So 2, 3, 4 back sail, 5. He's going to fire his port broadside at the hull with a stern rake. So we're going to check for a rake. He gets -3, -2 for the stern rake, -5, range is 2, so it's a -3 to the die roll. -3, he needs a 4 or less. 7 -3 is 4. He gets the stern rake. Okay. I think we're about to do some serious damage to the Scipion now. Alright. He's going to fire. He gets +2 on his die roll. And he is a white 3. He was actually -2, so when he would have gone 2, 3, he still would have moved without backing sails. That's all. I got to remember to check my rigging all the time. Okay, the Courageous fires. It is range 2. He is a white 3. That is table 11. +3 for Audacity is 14. And he's +2 to his die roll. He gets a 3, which makes a 5 on table 14. A 5, table 14, 3 hull and a fire. Okay. 3 hull on him, and I believe I'm going to have to check that rule now to see if he sinks. But we've obliterated that ship. So let me check that. I'll be back. Okay, we don't check for sinking until the final to the ship status check. But he's past his rating right now. Okay. All right, now it's time for the French. So he already fired his, and he is beating, so he has 2 movement points, and the Formidable has 2. He's going to move first. 1, 2, and that is going to give him a rake attempt. So we're going to see if he can rake him. He's firing his starboard broadside on the Formidable. Range is 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. So he's going to fire at range 4. So for him to rake, he gets a -1 for Audacity. It's not a stern rake. He gets Commander Qualities 1, that's -2, range is 4, so it's a +2 to the die roll. And he rolls an 8. So no rake. Okay. So he's going to fire at ranges 4. Ranges 4. He is a black 1. -2 makes him a black 3. Range 4 is a 6 +1. Firepower 7. He is firing at the hull, and he is beating, so he's into the wind. So it's -1 to the die roll. And we said it was firepower 6, which makes it firepower 7. And the die roll is 5, -1 is 4. So 4 on 7 is 1 hull hit. 1 hull. Okay. So he goes from 11 to 12, which now makes him a -2. And we roll for his commander. And it is no dice. As usual, I always end up dropping 1. He rolls an 8. Okay, still okay. Right, now the Duguay Truin. He can move 2. 1, 2. He has no, he's already fired his starboard. And now we have the Mont Blanc, who is going to move 1. Let's see, he's going to back sails. That's 1. Then he moves 2, back sail 3, moves 4, back sail 5. He's going to fire. The Mont Blanc is -1. He is at range 3. He's a white 3, makes him a white 4. At range 3 is an 8, which makes it 9. He is reaching, so he's firing against the wind. He's reaching, yeah, because he's firing from the opposite direction. So he's against the wind. That's -1 to the die roll. And we said he was range 3, firepower of 9, -1. He rolls a 9, makes that an 8 on firepower 9. Whew, you might get some damage here. 8 on 9, 3 hull hits. Okay, so 3 hull. So the first 2 put him at 14. And then he carries 1 over on his reduced side. So we take his counter, we flip it over. He's still vulnerable. Mont Blanc fired his starboard broadside. Okay, brings us to wow, what do you do with this guy? Because he's already, he just hasn't struck his colors yet. Yeah, what do you do, right? Because for sinking, when they roll to sink him, let's just take a quick look at this. Sinking. The ship is run to sink with no hull hits remaining. The ship sinks upon die roll equal to or less than its original rate. Add 1 to the die roll if the rate is bounded by a black dot, which he's not. Deduct 1 or 2 from the die roll rate if it's bounded by a white or yellow dot respectively. The ship may no longer fire if its hull damage capacity is reduced to 0. Okay, so he can't fire at me. So we're just going to move the hero. So he's out of, he can't fire because he's completely reduced. He can still move, but literally he's done for. So he's going to move 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 3, 4, 5. So he passed through there. He can get a half shot onto the Mont Blanc with the hero. He can fire his starboard onto the Mont Blanc. So to do that, I am looking to see what happens, because he does not have his back half of his ship, could not reach there. Abilities projected, so I'm looking to see where it is that he has masked broadsides. Fire limitations. Let's see, that's not it. Come on, I know you're in here. Let me check on this. First of all, he's not in command, so I got to do the command check with this guy. So we're going to roll. He may not even be able to fire. 6. He gets -3. And no commander. So is it 3 or lower? Or has it got to be less than 3? So that's what I'm looking at now. Command, out of command. Less than or equal. So that makes him, the 6 makes him 3, so he can fire. Okay, so we back to that again. Okay. If it sail close, if at any point during the ship has a friendly vessel, I'm just trying to see what it is, what happens to his firepower onto the arc of fire. Ships may only fire at targets outside their broadside arc of fire. Swiss chase guns, wind effects, fire resolution. Found it, finally. So he's firing, he goes up 1 rate. So the hero is a red 3 firing at the Mont Blanc, and the Mont Blanc can fire defensively. Hey, don't forget that. So he's going to fire defensively. He's going to fire both his, he does have defensive fire, but it's going to be at the same limitation. So he's a white 3. It's going to be range 2. He's a white 3, -1 makes him a white 4, because he only gets a partial on there, makes him a white 5. At range 2 is a 7, +1 is 8, so firepower is 8. Firing at the rigging, so he's firing at the rigging, makes him 8, +1 is he's firepower 7, makes him an 8. On his die roll is +1 for the rigging, because he's French. And he is firing, he's reaching, and the wind is blowing this way, which is still reaching. He gets to fire with the wind, so he's +2 on his die roll. +2 at firepower 8. He gets a 0, so that's a 2. Whew, got lucky on that one for the British. That's a hull hit. So he takes 1 hull hit. Okay. So the hero takes his 2nd hull. Down here, 2 hull hits now. Okay. And we're going to put that back, because again, I didn't pay attention to what I was doing. We're going to move him back, because I moved too far. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He can only go 3. So our problem here is this ship's in my way and I can't stop in the same hex. So he's going to back sails and move 2. They can't fire at me, so it doesn't matter. Take that off the board. That changed the whole thing. The hero is not going to fire now. And that's the end of that turn. He doesn't do anything. Well, he can move, I guess. It seems like if his hull was that damaged, would he really move? Well, now I'm looking at this again. Looking for my damage. Okay. So a ship can no longer striking is damaged and has 3 or fewer hull hits remaining. Vulnerable. A ship with a damage capacity, flip over. Every 6 hull hits, increase a ship's relative rate by 1. It's only 3 or fewer vulnerable marker may strike its colors. I would say he can still move. So he is running, and he doesn't have any, he has no rigging damage, so he can move 4. So he's going to go from running to reaching is 0. He would go 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. He's going to, so now we are at the end of the turn. Everybody's moved. And we're going to see if he sinks and strikes. Well, he's got 2 things going against him. So first thing we have to do is check this ship fire again. On the Caesar. So we're going to roll. And he gets a 9. 1 rigging, 1 hull hit. So he takes another hull hit. So his hull hits go up to 2 now. This ship's ablaze. And now we got to roll again. If he gets a 9, he's going to blow up. He gets a 0. Okay, so he's still burning. But he's still floating. Okay. They can't get the fire extinguished. Okay. Now, for the Scipion, is he going to strike his colors? That's the first thing we're going to check. So he is to strike. He is 0 hull hits left. The fleet audacity is -1. A 3 makes him a 2, so he does not strike. Now we're going to check him to see if he sinks. Okay, on the sinking table, for sinking, come back here to my rule book. 3.7.11. Okay. Add 1 to the die roll. Deduct 1 or 2 if he's white. He is white. So we're going to -1 and equal to or less than its original rate. His original rate was a 3. -1. Okay, so we roll. -1. A 7 makes it a 6. -1 is a, 6. Die roll equal to or less than its original rate. So he does not sink. And he did not strike his colors. Wow. This guy is like, they're just hanging on. I need to run up there and give him some rigging hits. But he's still in issue. Okay. So we go to turn 7. That's where we're going to stop today. So we'll be ready for turn 7. Here on the turn track. It's a 10-turn scenario. Nobody's striking. Everybody's still in the fight. We've got some serious issues going around here. He may get to a point where he's going to get in deep trouble. The Courageous and the Hero both had a lot of rigging damage, so their speeds are way down. They're trying to catch up here to the French fleet. Okay. All right. Man, we got a lot going on still. I thought this scenario was going to be like bang, 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 done. And it is not. These guys, it is tough to sink a ship, let me tell you. And it's hard to get them to strike. And I got a fire going. I can't get rid of that. All right. Cool. I'm having a blast with this. All right, that's it. Hope you're enjoying it. Hope I didn't make too many mistakes. I tried to correct a couple when I caught them. We'll see how we're doing. If you If you like the video, give me a thumbs up. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe. I'd appreciate it. All that helps the channel. And we'll see you guys for the next one. Have a good one.